The British government is set to make something mandatory that will reshape how everyone works and lives in the UK, a compulsory digital ID. Now, rights activists are calling it a dangerous step towards mass surveillance.
Absolute lies and total BS about this digital ID, which nobody asked for, nobody needs, and as far as I can tell, nobody wants. But the government seems to insist that they're going to press ahead with this, and now they insist that it was part of their manifesto.
Today, I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Did you hear that 86 million bank accounts in Vietnam were frozen because of citizens who didn't want to comply with the new national biometric verification process, essentially a digital ID? And there's only about 100 million people in Vietnam, so 86 million bank accounts frozen? My friend, this is called control.
So honestly, I want to start with a question for you. What is the one thing you rely on every single day that you genuinely believe no one should ever be able to turn off? Is it your car, your phone? For most of us, the answer is our money. It's what lets us live, right? Well, the UK government is laying the legal and technical groundwork right now to make your money and every single thing you buy with it completely programmable, completely traceable, and completely controllable. And the key to this whole system is something they are calling the digital identity. You see, they're selling it as convenience. They're telling you this new digital ID and eventually the digital pound, the CBDC, is all about modernizing services. But when you peel back the layers, what you find isn't a modern convenience. It's the blueprint for the most comprehensive system of financial control in history. This isn't just politics or economics. This is a massive spiritual and freedom issue. I've done the deep dive into the official documents, the Bank of England's plans, the new Data Use and Access Act, and trust me, it's not good. I'm taking a firm stand against this push.
Really clear, you must have ID, mandatory digital ID in order to work, because we have to stop illegal working. If you look at any of the raids, we've massively increased the number of raids on working premises. It is absolutely clear that people are working illegally.
Yeah, so Keir Starmer's recognised that the it will stop the boats argument has fallen completely and it's just ridiculed. So at his speech at the party conference, he said, we're going to have NHS digital. That's the big idea. And what it's going to do is it's going to reduce waiting times and it's going to get you to a GP no matter where you are around the country. But of course, we know that's another spin, because the issue of not enough GPs and not enough time, and the issue with A&E, and the issue of too many bureaucrats and not enough frontline staff, but also a lack of efficiency, and the big question of what is to be done with healthcare in Britain and whether we should have more of a mixed approach to it like they have on the continent in Europe. These things are not going to get resolved by a digital ID. And the big concerns, of course, with the health digital ID is what we've seen already when there was an attempt to impose a mandate for jabs for people who'd been working on the front line, 100,000 NHS staff. We'd already lost 45,000 care workers from it. The idea that we have a biometric state with a digital ID which nudges and forces and coerces people, it's unacceptable.
I just read where it said the UK is going to make it mandatory for all of its citizens to have a digital ID in order to work. This has end times testing written all over it. What we once thought was conspiracy isn't conspiracy any longer. And if you don't believe the Bible, things like this should open your eyes. I mean, it says in Revelations 13:16-17, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is going to come up on the world at some point. But when I see this about the UK, I go, yeah, are we just inching toward the big moment.
So we're looking at a one world currency, whether it's modeled after China's present situation. We're looking at a one world government.
Governments of the world are being dismantled right now. One famous global scholar, he's down in Singapore, his name is Parag Khanna. He has written in one of his books, they're building a global system without a global leader. And he says the system itself is what they're building. It's not, in other words, it's not just to hand it to somebody to dictate themselves or even a group of politicians to dictate it. They're creating a system that is independent of all that will simply control everything directly by algorithm.
An AI, an artificial intelligence system.
That's right. And I mean, I know it's hard to get, people can't get their head around this.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
This is the globalist plan, to stick a chip in every person in order for them to buy, sell, and work. And this is the kicker. He said it's free, but nothing in life is free. If the government is giving you something, it's not because they care for you. It's to benefit them.
They use countries sometimes as testing points, as temperature checks of where society is and how it's going to react as they try to push forth certain agendas. Are they going to make too much noise, or are they just going to comply and just trust the government? You shouldn't trust any government, only God's government. The governments of this earth, unless Jesus Christ is in the heart of the leaders, they have a agenda to control the masses. It makes things easier for them, and the elites can have their way while they make everybody else just work their life away. So right now it might be you can't work without the digital ID, but what's next? You can't travel unless you have the digital ID. You can't go buy things at stores unless you have the digital ID. I mean, this is what's going to happen, because if everybody complies to this little bit, then they're eventually going to take a lot of bit. So don't be deceived and don't get comfortable. Make sure you pray that we get a bigger time clock to save souls, because regardless of what's happening right now, and regardless of how much time we do have left, the end is going to come.
We're told that this is all about modernizing services, but when we peel back those layers, we find that the UK government is laying the legal and technical groundwork right now to make your money and every single thing you buy with it completely programmable, completely traceable, and completely controllable. My friend, this is what total control looks like in practice. It's not theoretical. It's not some dystopian movie plot. It's a recent headline. That is the raw power that comes with a digitally verified ID. This is the blueprint for the most comprehensive system of financial control in history. What does programmable mean? It means the government or the algorithm running the system can decide what you can and cannot buy. They can say, oh, you voiced dissent online? Well, your CBDC is now programmed so you can't buy fuel. Or your carbon score is too high this month so you can't buy meat. Or your health data shows you haven't complied with the latest public health mandate, so you can't buy a train ticket to leave your city. Brothers and sisters, it brings us back to the word. You see why I say this has end times testing written all over it? What we once thought was mere conspiracy theory isn't theory any longer, it's policy. And if you don't believe the Bible, things like this should open your eyes. I mean, it says right there in Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. And I want you to hear it again, because this is the chilling connection. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So right now it might be you can't work without the digital ID. But as the dominoes fall, what's next? You can't travel? You can't buy things at stores? This is what's going to happen, because if everybody complies to this little bit, they're eventually going to take a lot more bit. Don't be deceived and don't get comfortable. We must remain skeptical of any government that seeks this much power over the individual. They will use every tool, every crisis, and every spin to convince you that this loss of freedom is actually an increase in convenience. So my closing challenge to you is simple. Get closer to God. Your true identity, your eternal ID, is not a chip or a digital number or a biometric scan. It is your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Let your actions, your choices, and your faith reflect that ultimate truth.